Hello there. Hello, everybody. Hello, my viewers. It's yet another time that we have the ASM live show. It's been some time since last week when we were on here. And today we have a special guest. We are going to be covering on how to become an influencer, how to become widely known in your area of expertise. And we have a guest with us today who is going to be here shortly. Uh, let's see how everything is. I think, yeah, we are set. Welcome each and every person who is coming online. Welcome. Uh, Thank you very much, Amresh Patre, for liking this show. And I won't take much more time. We'll just invite our guest today, and is going to tell us what we have for today. This show was not pre-announced. It's just going to happen as it's happening. And if you have any question out there, how to become known, how to be an influencer, our guest is going to answer that and why you should become an influencer. But without wasting any other more time, I'm going to introduce our guest today, who is none other than who? Please tell us yourself, who your name is.
Luana Ribeira!
Luana
Hi,
Ribeira is
really
with
awesome
us.
to
Hi.
be here.
Yeah, welcome, Luana. Thank you for coming and joining us on this day, this wonderful day. Where are you from?
I'm in Portugal at the minute. I'm from the UK originally.
Okay. Ah,
Yeah,
wonderful.
Portugal's amazing. I've been in Portugal now for about 2 years.
Yeah.
Moved out here to open an animal sanctuary.
Okay.
Still a work in progress. It's not open yet.
Ah,
But honestly, it just feels like home. I love
ah,
it.
wonderful. And myself, I'm here from Athens, Greece. I'm not from Athens originally, from
Nice.
Kenya, but I'm in Athens, Greece right now.
I
So
love Greece.
yeah, it's a wonderful place, especially during summer. Everybody is flocking here and going for a swim.
Yes.
So you're welcome the next time. So we happen to connect online, and I discovered that you are one who helps influencers or other people become
Yeah.
known in their area of expertise and earn from it. And I thought, well, maybe we could have a chat, and someone out there could get some benefit from whatever that is that you're going to tell us. Now, please
Absolutely.
tell us a bit about yourself. Who are you? What do you do? What do you have for us today?
So I help people, entrepreneurs in
Yeah,
particular, to write books,
yeah,
become best-selling authors,
yeah.
and then to use those books to be able to get into the media. So help people to get into the media, and also to book things like speaking engagements and consulting. So when I talk about an influencer, I'm not
Hmm.
just talking about somebody pouting on Instagram. I'm
Yeah.
talking about the real change makers, the
Okay.
coaches, the authors, the people who are out there making a difference to the world. They're
Hmm.
my people.
Oh, wonderful. So someone doesn't have to be very widely known, like having a big following on Instagram right
No,
now.
no, no, no.
It could be the other way around. So someone becomes known for a book or an area of expertise that someone is in, and then he grows a following and becomes widely known. So that's exactly how you. What's the process?
Exactly, yeah. And we
Yeah.
achieve that with
Mhm.
books and media in particular.
Oh,
Um,
mhm.
so, it's a misconception. People think that to make money from their audience, that they need to have a certain number of followers and all of that. That's not true. It's not about having a massive following.
Okay.
The numbers don't matter. It's who they are.
Ah.
So it's figuring out who you are,
Hmm.
what you're here on this planet to do, who your people are, because, like it or not, it's not going to be everybody.
Yeah.
And then just really figuring out what those people need and how you can help them,
Hmm.
and giving out, giving out consistent value social media is incredible. Just give out value, build your audience that way, but build them of targeted followers, not just of random people. If you're wanting it, because the people who I help are the people who already have a business or an idea for a business at least, and
Okay.
most of them are they already have an established business,
Yeah.
but now they want to get known. Now they want to be the known expert, the leader who comes to mind whenever that topic is mentioned. So
Oh.
that's what it's all about.
Oh, wonderful. And you mentioned that is by a way of books and a way of media. Does it have to be both of them, or can it be
I
just?
would suggest both. It doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to be.
Yeah.
But
Mm-hmm.
if you don't do either one of those things,
Okay.
you are missing out. You are
Mm-hmm.
really, really, really missing out. Think about it. So imagine you're imagine there's some part of your life that you're
Yeah.
wanting to improve on. Now
Mm-hmm.
you get a book, you read that book,
Yeah.
you become engrossed in the author's world at the same time as being given action steps to improve your situation. You
Mm-hmm.
follow their advice, bam, you get the results.
Mm-hmm.
What are you going to do? You're going to want to find out more about this person. You're going to then enter their world. You're going to become
Mm-hmm.
part of their audience. Like Anthony, think about books that you've read and
Okay.
what you've done afterwards. Like you've gone and followed that person. And then you
Mm-hmm.
might have started buying into their programs, their courses. You might have been buying their products.
Yeah.
So some people will read the book. Okay, some people will read the book and not do anything.
Mm-hmm.
More people will read the book and come into your space. So they'll
Okay.
become a part of your audience. Some of those people will be ready to buy because the
Mm-hmm.
book will have already warmed them up.
Yeah, and come to think of it, now since you've asked about the books I may have read and how I followed up maybe on buying a product that they were selling. To be frank with you, there are several books that I have read, but I have not kind of followed with the people to buy a product. But,
Yeah.
but,
Sometimes people will
but
just read
thinking
it.
of it, thinking of it, this is where I'm driving at. Thinking of it, it is only because of some of the books I read and I really liked them. The problem or the challenge there could have been that the person was not in contact with me. And in any case, if that person could have suggested another product that he or she was offering, I could have taken it.
Yes. I'm really, really glad you said that.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
really glad that you
that's
said
what I'm
that.
imagining. But because yes, I've read. Okay, some people are here from America, Australia. The books I've read, and we don't have any contact with them. And once I read the book, that's it. I apply whatever is taught there, and I live my life.
Exactly. And the
Mm-hmm.
reason I'm so glad that you've brought that up is
Yeah,
because the
yeah,
book does actually need to be written
mm-hmm.
and marketed with that end goal in mind. So if
Yeah,
the end goal is to bring people to your audience, that's how the book is written.
mm-hmm.
And something else I wanted to that I wanted to say as well when you mentioned that is, I
Mm-hmm.
was on the phone to somebody earlier who really wants a book. He's going to go ahead with it.
Okay,
But something he was a little concerned about was that, I mean, this is a very successful person, but he was thinking, well, have I reached the point where I could write a book?
yeah,
Now, I wasn't going to say to him, yes, you have. That's not my decision to make. But
mm-hmm.
in my mind, I'm thinking, this guy's super successful. He's got a wealth of knowledge. I want his book.
Yeah,
But obviously, we're human. We all have our hang-ups. But what I
yeah.
said to him was,
Mm-hmm.
if people are following you
Yes.
and they like what you're saying and they
Mm-hmm.
can learn valuable things from you and they can resonate with you,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't matter if you're still on the journey. People want to know about that. If
Okay.
you are already right at the top. So,
Yes.
for example, I read Tony Robbins books all the time. I'm
Yeah.
not going to go contact Tony Robbins
Mm-hmm.
because he is way up there. He's not going to read a
Right.
message from me, or that's what I've got going on in my head. Maybe he
Mm-hmm.
would, maybe he wouldn't. But in my head, I'm thinking, no point messaging Tony Robbins to say how
Yeah.
much this book impacted me because he's not going to read it.
Mm-hmm.
Where if people, so sometimes people prefer somebody not to be so high up so that they can resonate with them more, and they
Yeah.
feel like then that it's teamwork, that they're working together with that person, so they're a few steps ahead and they
Mm-hmm.
can take this person to their next level. And
Mm-hmm.
it seems like more like teamwork, whereas if somebody's already wildly successful, they can seem, they're not
Mm-hmm.
all the time, but they can seem like they're out of reach, and so less people actually think about getting in touch with them.
Mm-hmm.
Where if somebody seems only a few steps ahead of where
Yeah.
you want to be, then you're more likely to go, I'm going to reach out to this person and see if they can help me. The latest, before I even had my book out, this is what made me realise the
Yeah.
power a book could have.
Mm-hmm.
So I was doing well in business.
Mm-hmm.
Everything was going fine. Like I had nothing that I needed. I had coaches for everything. I was outsourcing everything else I didn't want to do. I was thinking, wow, this
Mm-hmm.
is great. I've got everything I could possibly need. There pops up on my timeline a book by Andy Harrington.
Okay.
And it was a free book. He was giving it away free.
As an ebook.
No, it was a paperback.
Yeah.
But I paid for the postage and it
Okay.
got sent to me free. Okay, so this book arrives
Mm-hmm.
and instantly I'm like, he knows his stuff. This is amazing. I've never heard of this guy in my life. Never
Mm-hmm.
heard of him. But I
Okay.
got so into his book. I couldn't stop reading it. Got so into his book.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the end of the book, I thought, who is this person? I'm going to have to look him up. So I looked him up online.
Yeah.
And I saw that he had, actually, no, I'll tell you what it was. It was a clever marketing campaign. He popped
Mm-hmm.
up on my timeline again with
Yeah.
a different offer.
Like
So
a
obviously,
Facebook ad, I guess. Yeah.
obviously, yeah. He'd retargeted me as somebody who downloaded his book to
Okay.
then come to his free event.
Yeah.
It was a 2-day event, completely
Mm-hmm.
free. I thought, well,
Mm-hmm.
this is brilliant. I thought,
Yeah.
I don't need to go. I don't need any more help. I'm
Mm-hmm.
doing fine as I am. But why not? So off I went to this event,
Mm-hmm.
spent a fortune, spent an absolute fortune, despite walking in,
Okay.
telling myself I didn't need any more help. Despite seeing clearly what Andy Harrington was doing, what he'd done with his book, what he
Yeah.
was doing with this free event, he uses a lot of NLP techniques on stage. I could see perfectly what he was doing. All the same, there I am, walking to the back of the room with my card.
And you spent.
I spent, and
What?
I was so happy that I did.
Mm-hmm.
I went to, it was, I think it was a week-long speakers academy, and it was great.
Okay.
And so I never regretted it or anything. I thought, I already know how to do all of this. But obviously, there's always more to learn, and it was great, and I learned a lot.
There's always something more to learn, even when you think that you've got everything figured out.
There's always more, isn't there?
Yeah.
We're never there. There's
Never,
always
never.
more.
Yeah.
But it was the power of that book taking me from, I don't need any more help.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not spending on any more coaching. I've got all the coaches I could possibly need.
Yes.
To me running to the back of the room with my card. That was off the back of a book. And then I thought, I need my own book. And then I saw for myself, from there, I saw for myself the difference that a book makes.
So you published?
I published.
Self-published?
I got a book coach because I knew damn well I wasn't going to do it on my own. I've been writing this book for 2.5 years, forgetting about it, remembering about it again a few months later, getting super passionate, forgetting it again. It wasn't going to happen on my own. As human beings, we're so complicated.
It happens. It happens. Many of us have books within us that we have not brought out, and some have started writing
Oh,
them
and
that we've
isn't
never
it
finished.
a tragedy?
Yeah.
Because
Mm-hmm.
because we have so much in us to
Yeah.
share.
Mm-hmm.
Every single person watching this, watching the replay afterwards, anyone we come into contact with, even everybody's got amazing knowledge to share, but very few people actually share it. And do you
And
know what?
that's what I was going to ask. Does anybody, or rather, is anybody in a position to write a book? Does anybody, everybody, and each and everybody has a story to tell? That's the question I was going
Everyone's
to
got a
ask.
story to tell.
Yeah.
Everybody has a story to tell and wisdom to share. But
Mm-hmm.
because humans being humans, we tend to talk ourselves out of it, and we
Yeah.
tend to think that everyone else has got it made and that everyone else, they're shouting about this stuff, and oh, we can't compare to them, and we kind of talk down our own achievements
Mm-hmm.
generally from the people I come into contact with. Um, I think very few people, some people obviously are the opposite, but
Mm-hmm.
in my world, what I see is completely different, and it was my own experience as well. I spent so many years thinking I wasn't good enough. I had nothing valuable to share. And so
Mm-hmm.
what I did was I got drunk constantly instead. So I
Ah,
put a lot of energy into partying hard and not
mm-hmm.
actually doing anything with my life
Yeah.
until I had my moment, until everything clicked for me. Which was when I was pregnant, and so I had to stop partying. So instead of blocking out, I was forced
Okay.
to confront these pesky dreams that kept calling me.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, so that's what happened. I'm just trying to share this to my profile, but it's not
Yes.
sharing for some
And all
reason.
the other people who are watching, please take this opportunity to share it with someone else out there. I see that we have Samir Narad who has liked this video. We also have Amresh Patre who has wished us a great day. Thank you very
Ah,
much. Yeah, so we've got some viewers, and yes, oops, sorry, I put it on. And we are going to have even many more watch us after we are off air. So have you shared it elsewhere?
I just tried to share it to my profile, but it's not letting me. I'm
Oh,
having a few technical issues. It's not
what?
giving me the option for whatever reason. I will though. It might be afterwards.
I wonder why that should be, because I'm able to share it. I'm sharing it with ASM live show page because this is.
Yeah, yeah.
I've shared it
It's
there.
not.
I've
Yeah,
shared.
it's just on my end. It's just on
Um,
my end. I'll keep trying it as we go. So if I look away, I'm not being rude. I'm just trying to share this.
Yeah, we understand. We understand. So I've shared it myself with other two pages, and I'm
Awesome.
requesting each and every viewer who is watching this. Please share it with your friends, and please share it with all the groups that you're in, every page that you have. Share it everywhere so that
Let's
people.
get it
Yeah,
everywhere.
let's get to everyone so that everyone can get to know what we are sharing today and can get the great information that we are getting from Luana today. And if you're out there and you have a story within you, you can always reach out to someone like Luana here. Because just something you said just before we went into sharing, you talked about that the people who put themselves down, I mean, we as humans put
Mm,
ourselves down. We underrate ourselves, and it only takes a time and a chance where someone reaches out to you and gets something that has been hidden inside of you and brings it out.
mm,
I'm imagining this is why we have a mirror in the house, because we cannot see our own face.
yeah.
We need a mirror by before us so that we can see ourselves from the mirror. And this is the way that a coach or a trainer or someone like Luana here can help someone to come out from where he is, bring out those gifts hidden inside them, and make them open and make them beneficial to society and to themselves at large.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Mhm. So, another question: do you just help people locally, or are you or global?
I don't even work with anybody locally.
Oh, okay.
I work mainly with people in the UK,
Mhm.
the US,
Yeah,
and Australia. They're my main places.
yeah.
Every now and again, I'll get somebody from the Philippines or Bali or Thailand, but generally, it's those three places.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's all online. Everything I do is online.
Is online. So,
Yeah.
please uh, take us through the process of how someone starts to work with you and ends up being the influencer, become the big person known in his field.
Yeah, yeah. Do you know, it depends what stage they're at. So I've got different offers depending on what stage. But say somebody is an absolute beginner.
Mm-hmm.
So I they know what they want.
Mm-hmm.
They've got to know what their passion is, what they want, what their topic is. So
Yeah.
from there, I can help them to write a book
Mm-hmm.
throughout everything that's needed throughout the whole process. I can help them with
Okay.
editing, formatting, book design, all of it.
Yeah.
Then the actual publish, and I only deal with self-publish. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not a traditional publisher. I
Okay.
help people to self-publish their own books,
Okay.
and from there, I run bestseller campaigns, and
Mm-hmm.
we kick ass at bestseller campaigns. We're really, really good at them,
Mm-hmm.
and then to from there to get into the media consistently.
Okay.
So with media, I'm meaning like television, radio, podcasts, magazines, newspapers, and also I help people with social media, which is something that happened by accident. I wasn't meaning to go into social media,
Mm-hmm.
but a company signed me up to help them with their media. So I've got a done for you media service. People
Okay.
can come onto this service whether they've got a book or not, but it's more effective if they've got a book because
Mm-hmm.
the book opens up many doors. So anyway, I started working with this company on their media, and what struck me was, they weren't really ready for media yet.
Yeah.
They didn't have much of an online presence, and so we went back to the drawing board and we figured out that the best step for them to take first would
Mm-hmm.
be to build their social media and then come, for mainstream media
Okay.
once they've cracked that.
Mm-hmm.
Because if they were going to go straight into the media, it was like, well, where are you gonna lead them to next,
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So I started working on their social media, creating all of their content, basically doing everything on the social media front.
Mm-hmm.
A few weeks down the line, I got a message
Yeah.
saying, look, do you mind putting things on hold with the social media for a bit? And I was like, what? What do you mean? I thought we were doing great here. What's going on? And they said, no, you are. That's the point. We're overrun with customers. We need
Yeah.
to we need to slow down a little bit while we get some new staff in and get them trained up. And I'm
Uh-huh.
like, okay. So that's when I thought, do you know what? Okay, let's add social media into the mix. So
Now, when you talk of social media, are you talking about just the sharing of content, the day-to-day sharing of content, or are you talking about advertising or?
it's more, I don't deal with Facebook ads or anything like that.
Yeah.
I'm not knowledgeable about them.
Okay.
Um, when I run them, I haven't run them for years now, but when I do, I have a team in to do it for me. It's not my zone.
Mm-hmm.
What I do is help people to build their brand and to position themselves as
Mm-hmm.
an expert.
Okay.
So I help them to position themselves. So whatever you want to call it,
Yeah, I
the
understand.
authority, the
Not
expert,
very,
the leader, the influencer, whatever
hopefully
it is.
influencer.
Lots of different words, they mean the same thing, yeah? So it's the person who springs to mind
Mm,
whenever somebody's talking about their topic. And,
okay.
on social media, we do that through creating captivating content.
Mm,
But we also, we can manage the full social media. So we build their following and everything like that with targeted followers, not
okay.
just with anyone. And yeah, then there's the mainstream media. We're constantly pitching them to
Yeah,
TV, radio, magazine. And my background is in acting, so I've built so many contacts over the years. It's a lot easier for me to
yeah,
pitch somebody and to open those doors than it is for somebody to do it themselves, even if I was to give them all of the information, which I have done. And
okay.
something I had a program, I still have,
Mm,
but what I realized through this program is that when it comes to things like media and books, actually, we can become our own worst enemies. So
yeah,
everybody knows the
yeah.
impact that books and media can have.
Mm-hmm,
So
mm-hmm,
people sometimes they start to take action, and
mm-hmm.
then they'll talk themselves out of it and they just won't take the actions. But if it's something like done for you service, not only have I already done the groundwork of building the relationships, which has
Yeah.
taken well over a decade,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm not going to go, oh, this person's not an expert. I'm not going to put them for. Do you know what I mean? That
Yeah, I
those
understand.
brain monkeys aren't going to get in the way anymore because it's
Mm-hmm,
all going on in the background. And
mm-hmm.
then when they call me or when I call them with a booking or whatever, and they're going, oh, I don't know if I'm ready. I don't know if I'm ready. I can help them with that. I get it. I've been there myself, and I can support them and make sure that they are ready for that interview.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And it is a crazy thing. It's very nerve-wracking, and people do tend to talk themselves out of it. But they know damn well the impact it can have on finances, business, personal life, just on
I,
so many factors. Confidence, it's a huge, huge thing.
yeah, I agree with you. Nothing good comes easy, and some
Not
nothing comes
supposed
easy.
to, is it? If
And
everything came easy, we wouldn't become the people we need to be to sustain it. And
yeah,
that's
yeah.
why when people win the lottery,
Mm,
quite often they don't hold on to that cash. It's gone because they
yeah,
haven't had to face the challenges and become the person they need to
yeah. That
be that
reminds me.
person, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And that reminds me of this story I heard of someone who watched the butterfly break out of its paper, and it says, "Oh, it's struggling and it's not able to come out, so I'm gonna help it to come out." So he broke the shell from the larva, and so the butterfly comes out with all the fluid not squeezed out, because the squeezing out of the butterfly squeezes the fluid out of it so it can become light and able to fly. And that
Yeah.
prevented the butterfly from ever flying, because
There we go. I never heard that before.
yeah.
Never heard that before. But I do compare.
Mhm.
Butterflies are really interesting creatures, aren't they? And I
Yeah,
think when in the business world we're constantly forced to keep leveling up, aren't we?
yeah.
And
Hmm.
sometimes that can be really, really painful. Let's be honest here. It
Hmm.
hurts like hell.
Yeah.
And so when people get into these states sometimes,
Hmm.
and I have clients who go through this quite often, and I'll tell you exactly when.
Hmm.
It's just before or just after they've just finished the first draft of their book. They go into full meltdown mode, and this happens time and time again. Okay, and
I
what I
can
say to
imagine.
them is, look, this
Yeah.
is your metamorphosis. The
Hmm.
butterfly doesn't just evolve into a butterfly. First, it has to become a gooey mess.
Yeah.
You're that gooey mess right
Hmm.
now.
Hmm.
You're going to have
Hmm.
to ride this through, and then you
Hmm.
emerge into a whole new level. And at
Yeah.
that point, that's if somebody is listening to this now and they're wondering, how they know if they're in that stage, is when things seem to be going well, but then
Mm-hmm.
all of a sudden everything screws up at once. It
Yeah.
seems like there's drama all around. You might get ill, you might get injured. So it seems like all of these things are external and it all becomes too much. You start wondering why you started. You
Mm-hmm.
might even start looking at other options. You might start looking at that 9 to 5, or you might look at your book and think, why did I don't even like it. Why did I even
Mm-hmm.
write this thing? It's all perfectly normal, and it means you're in the metamorphosis stage, and there's nothing you can do apart from ride it out. You
Yeah.
just ride it out and recognize. So don't push away those thoughts and those feelings.
Mm-hmm.
Recognize them and say, oh, that's interesting. I'm
Mm-hmm.
thinking that now, am I? Oh, I'm thinking I'm a complete failure. That's interesting. And that is a lot easier to handle than actually listening to those thoughts and thinking, oh, I'm a failure. Oh, I can't do this. When you recognize them as nothing but your monkey brain giving you thoughts, you can even have a conversation. You can go, oh, really? I'm a failure, am I? That's interesting. What about when I did this or this or this? Did I fail that time? You know, if once you start just acknowledging your thoughts and taking them for what they are,
Mm.
nothing but thoughts, then it becomes a lot easier to handle. And then we start being able to move through those levels
Yeah.
easier. And the reason why, this comes with writing a book, because when you're writing a book, you're forced, again, the same as business, you're forced to be entering these new levels, and especially when it comes to release. And that's why people freak out.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the monkey brain wanting to keep us safe.
Yeah, and someone said that it gets darkest where just before dawn is when it gets darkest, and that's the
Yeah, the
time
breakdown
that
before the breakthrough, that's another
yeah,
thing I've
and
heard as
that's
well.
the time that most people give up on whatever it is that they want to do when they are having challenges, one challenge after the other. But what I usually say is that the challenges come to make you stronger. They don't come
That's
to
it.
prevent you from going towards your dreams. They come to make you strong.
Exactly. They're there to help us. They're
Uh-huh.
there to help us.
Now, when you talked about, as we go back, when you talked about the media and you're talking about television, newspapers, you have contacts in the UK, the US, Australia. I want to believe that this is the mainstream media that someone gets to go into. I mean, this kind of media in the US, the UK, and
It's
wherever.
it's actually global, like it's
Mhm.
not just that's where my main client base is,
Okay.
in those three places. But as far as media goes,
Yeah.
it's worldwide. So,
Okay.
you know, depending on where that person is and what their
Yeah.
business is, we come with a strategy, because if it's a brick and mortar business,
Okay.
then they're only, they will benefit from global media if they're being associated with names that people recognize, like Fox, NBC, ABC. It doesn't matter where in the world they are, that's going to benefit them.
Mhm.
But at the same time, we would focus more on their local place. Whereas somebody's running an online business and they can accept people from wherever the world. It's all part of working out what
Yeah.
strategies is a good fit for that person.
I understand. And I know there is someone who is watching us out there who is wondering to himself or herself, yeah, now from what she's talking, I can imagine that I'll have to go and break a bank in order to achieve that dream. So, how expensive or how fair are your services?
Yeah, so if we're looking at okay, so my prices range from 1,000 is my low ticket,
Okay.
and it can go up to 35,000, which is my high ticket.
Dollars, pounds,
And
euros?
I've got a few. Oh, sorry, that's pounds. That's
Okay.
pounds.
Okay.
So dollars around 1,300 to about, is that about
Well,
45,000?
someone can always calculate that once they go
So
there.
it's something like that. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So I
So,
have options depending
mhm,
on where people are in their journey. So
okay.
the first stage really is
Hmm.
just to have a chat and figure out, so that I can figure out who they are, what
Yeah.
they can, what they need, what they
Hmm.
want, which is
Yeah.
often different,
Uh-huh.
what they want, what they need,
Yeah.
and what stage they're at with their business and everything.
Okay.
And then we can see if we're a good fit of working together. And
Yeah.
from there, I can work out what I've got that would be most suited to that person. So we have courses that talk people through things like how to write a book, how to get into the media.
Hmm.
And then we've got done for you services. Now, these are the ones that get insane results
Okay.
because we do them for you. And
Uh-huh.
with those, we have, certain guarantees and stuff like that, which we can give because we're the ones in the driving seat. So if we don't get the results, then, you get a refund. It's never happened.
Okay.
So that's it. It just depends on the person and where they're at in their journey.
Yeah, and I can imagine every single person is unique in their wants and needs. I mean, so you don't
Yeah,
group them,
yeah, yeah.
them together. And
Yeah, so I have choices. I give out a load of free content as well.
okay.
That I want people, to have the choice and
Oh,
to be able to move forward, like regardless of where they're at in the journey, just
yeah.
take that next step.
Okay. So,
Take that next step, and what that next step is depends on that person.
okay. So, when you talk about the courses, what duration? I mean, you're talking about the courses of to write a book and maybe get into the media. What's the duration of the courses that you're talking about?
I On my courses, I have lifetime access.
Okay.
This means that they can come in, they can write a book, they get guided through the full process, they get full support,
Mhm.
and they can write as many books as they like.
Okay.
They can reel one off after another.
Uh-huh.
Um, it's a one-off cost for the course.
Mm-hmm.
Then I offer different options with upgrades. Like some people want support on a one-to-one level, which is, that's a lot more valuable because instead of just following instructions, what you've got then is somebody going, okay, let's have a look at what you've done. Well,
Yeah.
this would be better here. That needs
Mhm.
cutting out. You need to
Yeah.
talk more about this. So it's much more where I support everybody. This is a much deeper level of support when people go one to one.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So, the one to one, as long as it takes them to write the book, which can be from, I suggest, 3 to 6 months. When
Okay.
people give themselves more than that, what tends to happen is the book doesn't become a priority until the last minute anyway, because
Yeah.
it's one of those things that's so
I'll,
easy to
I'll
put
do it
down on the
sometime anyway. I'll do it one day, sometime, somewhere.
exactly. Oh, that's the thing. That's
Yeah. Yeah.
exactly it. Having
Um.
a book for most people
Mm-hmm.
is, and this is very sad, but it's true, it
Yeah.
will always be a one-day goal.
Okay.
And one day they'll be lying on their deathbed thinking, oh, should have got that book out there, shouldn't I? Lights out, the end, your chance is gone. If we
Yeah.
keep saying to ourselves, and I'm not just talking about a book, I'm talking about anything we want to do. If we keep saying, oh, I'll do that one day, I'll do that one day,
Yeah.
are you going to regret? One day never comes. Are you going to one day regret that? So at least if there's something you want to do, maybe it's not the right time now. I do get it. But at least put it into your plan and set yourself a timeline and stick to it.
Yeah. There's one great guy who has written many books on leadership. His name is Miles Monroe. He's gone. He passed on some few years back. And this one thing that he always used to say is that he's glad he discovered the richest and the wealthiest part. on the face of the earth. And guess what it is? He used to tell people it's the graveyard. That's where you're gonna find all the dreams that were never fulfilled, all the cars
Oh,
designed, every
ouch.
building that was not designed. That's if people went with them to the graveyard. They didn't take that action to put them into reality. And when that day comes, like the way you are saying, they go with everything to the grave. So that becomes the richest and the most wealthiest part on the face of the earth. Now,
Wow.
the call is to our viewers. Here, Luana, don't wait any other day. Just embark on writing your book.
Yeah,
Embark
yeah, or at least, set it
and
into
set
your
a goal
plan.
today. Okay.
Yeah, don't become another one of those people, who live with regrets.
Yes.
That's my biggest fear. It's not failing or anything else. It's looking back and regretting. And regret
Yeah.
only ever comes from not doing things. Because if you do things,
Mm-hmm.
what you're either going to move forward or you're going to learn from the experience.
Exactly.
Where if you just stay still,
Mm-hmm.
oh, but just think, okay, you were talking about this graveyard. Now,
Yeah.
just imagine how much knowledge, how much life changing knowledge has
Mm-hmm.
been 6 feet under and will never, it was never passed on.
Yeah.
It's actually selfish of people to be stuck in their own head and not to pass that knowledge on.
Not to pass whatever it is that, but I can maybe be the advocate and say they are hiding because they don't want to be ridiculed, they don't want to be judged, they don't
That's
want.
exactly it.
so
That's exactly it. That's what
so
exactly what I'm on about with the
so
human brain and the way we talk
maybe I have
ourselves
a book.
out of it. But
Maybe I have a
let me.
book.
I'm going to respond to that. If
Yeah.
somebody is feeling like, oh, I'm going to be ridiculed, people are going to laugh at me, people aren't going to take me seriously. If you're thinking like that now, you're not thinking about your people. You're stuck in your own head. You're
Mm-hmm.
thinking about yourself ahead of what's
Yeah.
best for your people and the world.
Mm-hmm.
Because the knowledge you've got, the wisdom you can share, it's a
Mm-hmm.
ripple effect.
Okay.
So you share that piece of wisdom,
Yeah.
it's gonna be passed on. We don't even know the impact that we can have. But if
Yeah.
we hang on to that for fear,
Uh-huh.
we're letting those people down. And this is not a criticism because I do it myself.
Mm.
I do it myself. I recognize that I do it, and it's something that I'm working on.
Okay.
But I definitely do this myself. As
Mm-hmm.
much as I see it in other people, I'm like, ah. But then sometimes I see it myself, and I go, oh, okay. And I
Wow.
do. But it's really important to recognize those thoughts for just what they are. They're just thoughts. They're not us. We're not our thoughts. They're
Yeah.
just thoughts passing
Because
by. Let them pass by.
I'm imagining there's someone out there who has an idea of writing a book, but then he says, I am not so knowledgeable on that area. And once I publish that book, someone is going to laugh at me and say, hey, look at this man. He wrote a book and it's not making some sense. I mean,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The thing is,
yeah.
that's the main reason why most people don't get around to publishing their own book.
Mm,
That is the main reason. It's so much easier these days than it used to be. Don't have to rely on publishers. You can self-publish your own book, and it can be super successful if you do it in the right way.
okay.
The thing that holds people from getting that success, though,
Mm,
is inaction.
yeah.
The very thing they're afraid of the
Mm,
book not being successful, them creating that reality
mm-hmm,
right now by not taking action. That
yeah.
is the thing that's making that story come true right now. Doesn't make sense, does it?
So whatever is not done is already a failure because it's not
Because
done.
we haven't done it. But this is why I run the boot camp, yeah, because it takes people step by step through the whole process. Now, most people think that they need the knowledge, they need to be guided through step by step. They
Mm,
get that. They get that in full. But
mm,
from experience, what they need more than anything is support. They need support and they need accountability. They need somebody to be checking in on them and going, hey, where are you up to? And for them to go, oh, I haven't looked at it for a week.
yeah.
What's going on here? And to help them through with whatever block they've got or whatever's on them. It always goes deeper. It's rare, people say, oh, life got in the way or whatever.
Mm,
That is sometimes true. More often, it's
yeah.
just that people have
Yes.
fears coming up, underlying fears, blocks, and everything's just getting real. And so they start freaking out about it. So, that's
Yeah.
the main thing that people need. So in the boot camp, they get both. They get
Okay.
the support and they get the action step. They get a full. It's been likened to a dot to dot
So,
formula. Like, there's so many ways that you can write a book. The way that my formula is very specific
mhm,
towards a certain type of person, and
yeah.
that person is an entrepreneur, coach or entrepreneur who
Yeah.
wants to use their book to attract clients, high
Mhm,
level clients, and to open up opportunities on stage and in
no,
the media.
yeah.
That the book is very, very specific towards that.
Yeah. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Now, when you talked just earlier on, and you talked about doing everything online. When you mentioned the boot camp, is it also still
Oh,
online?
it's online. It is online. I am actually
Yeah.
thinking of running a retreat next year. So that's something that I might do next year.
Okay.
It's very rare that I do things offline, but I do like a retreat, don't you?
That would be good.
It's amazing, isn't it? So I'm thinking something like a book, and I don't know, either books or media, maybe both, with
Yeah.
with the TV appearance or something like that. I don't
Yeah.
know. I haven't really thought about this, but I'm thinking I might do that next year.
You think about it as we go along. But to all those who are hearing us, those who are watching us, we wish that you just take an action. And let me give them this challenge. Hey, we are only 2 months to a new decade. Make a goal that in 2020 you're going to publish your book.
I'll start at least. Oh, 1920. Yes, of course,
I
we haven't
think,
reached that
yeah,
yet. Yeah.
2020 is
Oh,
only
but
2 months away.
also, can I add to that as well?
Yeah.
Start it now. Don't be one of those people who wait till the new year, because if you wait till the new year, then you'll wait till April. If you wait till April, you'll wait till summer. Once you wait till summer, you're then waiting for next new year.
Mhm.
Get that journey started.
Oh yeah, you remind me this. Next week, I've been invited to speak to some students in some international school here in Athens,
Oh,
Greece.
brilliant.
Yes, and I had a pre-visit yesterday, and when I reached there, they have a very big motto, which we call it phrase at the gate, whatever the viewer may call it, and it reads that tomorrow starts today.
Yeah, exactly. If you want a super successful book in
Yeah.
2020,
Mm.
now's the time to start taking action.
Yeah, it's not tomorrow. You start it today, and
Yeah,
yeah. So, and please talk to Luana for her to guide you on how to go about it. And
definitely,
excuse me,
definitely.
Luana. Excuse me, Luana. We have not forgotten that you mentioned something free there, back there. What are those free things that you give to people?
I do lots of free trainings and stuff in my group. It's called
Okay.
Rockstar of Your Industry. I'll
Uh-huh.
I'll I'll add the link to this later, but
Please do.
it's on Facebook, Rockstar of Your Industry, and I do
Okay.
like 3 lives a week there. Just full of value. So even if you're not ready to invest yet,
Mhm.
you can still start. There's no excuse. You can still start.
Okay, maybe a book, an ebook or something for people to download.
Exactly. There's so many possibilities.
Oh,
But
wonderful.
you can
So,
start your book. Yeah,
please
I
share with
do.
us. Share with us that link there so that we can follow you as soon as possible, not wait for tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
yeah. So, yeah, wonderful. We have an idea of now how to make things happen in publishing a book and going into media for the new decade that is coming so that we can become influencers, help as many people as possible, and make money also because
Of course. Of course.
because uh, before we go off, I was going through your notes and I saw something like impact. What is it?
Impact.
What is that all about?
Impact is my word.
What is it
Okay.
about?
So I remember once
Hmm.
somebody sent me a message saying, who are you? It wasn't a nice message. He said
Yeah.
something along the lines of, who are you to call yourself an expert? I see you doing books, media, acting. What do you do? And
Yes.
I'm like, one, I never called myself an expert. I don't know where you saw that.
Hmm.
That's not up to me to decide if I'm an expert. It's up to whoever else. That's not up to me.
Yeah.
Two, I do all of those things. I do
Hmm.
books, I do media, I do acting.
Yeah.
So then I started thinking deeper about that and how they all intertwine. And
Uh-huh.
from there, I created the impact system. And this is what I work with my clients.
Hmm.
I is for the internal work.
Okay.
That's becoming the person you need to become the rock star of your industry, the influencer on everybody's lips, the top expert on your niche, whatever you want to call it.
Hmm.
That's I. M
Hmm.
is for media. We've talked a lot about that already.
Yeah.
P is for publishing a book.
Okay.
Do
Yeah.
it. If you haven't done it, do it. And
Uh-huh.
act is for acting. Now, let me tell you about a common misconception people have about acting.
Yeah.
People tend to think that acting is becoming a different character or hiding behind a character that
Hmm.
involves a mask. It's the absolute opposite.
Yeah.
When you learn acting techniques, and my background is in acting, by the way, which is why I bring this stuff into what I do, because
Wonderful.
I know damn well I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now had I not trained as an actress.
Hmm.
I was so low on confidence. I couldn't speak on camera. I couldn't do anything without acting training. Okay. So I bring acting training into everything I do, even into writing a book, believe it or not.
Yeah.
So, what acting actually is being able to pull out the part of your persona that
Hmm.
you need at that exact given time. For example,
Yeah.
before you came and host this live stream,
Yes.
you might have been, I don't know, you might have been sitting in your kitchen having a cup of tea or whatever. But
Mm.
your personality would have been slightly different, where when you go onto a live stream or on stage or something, you're more animate. You become the performer. You pull out the performer in you.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where I'll say something on the opposite end of the scale. If it's a Saturday night and you're just sitting in front of Netflix in your dressing gown, you're
Hmm.
not going to be playing the performer role then. Yet that is all within you. We've
Hmm.
all got so many different aspects to our personality. And what
Hmm.
acting training does is it allows us to recognize and to be able to pull out the parts of a persona that we need at any given moment. Now, this
Hmm.
is amazing for things like media interviews,
Yeah.
but also things like it's really transferable because
Hmm.
it really helps with things like getting on sales calls
Yeah.
and like even things like writing content to be
Hmm.
able to get into that headspace first and
Yeah.
to figure out who that next level version of yourself is and
Yeah.
to pull out that part of you now because that person's there. We're already our next level self. We just
Okay.
need to tap into into
Mhm.
that person. That person's been there all our life.
Yeah.
It is who we are. So it's
Only that
just
he has not
finding
brought
that
out.
part of ourselves.
Yeah. Only that he has not come out. So
You
when
just need to tap into it, and that's what acting training does. So
wonderful.
it's really good fun as well. Like, we can tap into our favorite characters.
Yeah.
Like my character, when I'm feeling weakness, I'll tap into Tris from Divergent.
Mhm.
Love Tris from Divergent, like obsessed with those films, with the books and everything. So, but in doing so, I'm not becoming Tris. I'm what's the word? Accentuating, is that the right word? The qualities that she has that
Okay.
I also share, but
Mhm.
at the minute they're hidden deep down inside. So I use acting techniques to bring those to the surface,
Okay.
to bring out the badassery, to bring out the tenacity,
Aha.
those qualities that she's got that
Yeah.
I also have, but sometimes I don't feel like I have them, but I
Mm.
have. They're there.
Yeah.
So so it's a really effective process. It's absolutely game changing and so much fun.
Wonderful. Wonderful. I can imagine that. Yeah, so I think we can have so much to cover over a very long period of time, but for now we have to go. But
Awesome. Well, it's been
very
really,
wonderful.
really good chatting to you this afternoon.
It's been wonderful. I really appreciate. And what would you tell the viewers? Last parting shot, as I say.
Okay, so the main thing that I want to say really is just, you might think that you don't have anything interesting to share. You might think that you haven't reached the level yet where
Mm,
you can create an impact. But the thing is, this book and getting into the media is what's going to help you to create that impact.
yeah,
So rather than thinking I need to be at a certain stage before I start writing my book or before I go for the media, remember that these are tools to help you to get to those levels, like
yeah,
it instantly, I cannot tell you how powerful it is. It instantly elevates you to the top of your industry. It shows people that you're the real deal. It sets you apart from somebody who is only dipping their toe in. Is not going to sit and write an entire book.
mm,
It shows that you're the real deal, especially if that book then becomes a bestseller.
mm,
It's just another thing, the main reason that people don't buy is lack of trust,
mm,
either lack of trust in themselves or in the person selling. So if
yeah,
they have more trust in you, they're going to be way more likely to buy, and also that's going to improve the trust in themselves, that if they've
mm,
got you as a guide, that they will be able to to do what's expected. And the
yeah.
book is,
A
I
good one.
can't put into words. It's insanely powerful.
I really understand. I do really understand. And I could be having more questions, but I'm leaving this to the viewer. Please follow up with Luana and ask her more questions so she
Yeah,
can.
yeah. Feel free to message me, shoot me a DM, Luana Ribeira.
Yeah.
I always respond. So any questions, just give me a shout.
Okay. So thank you. Thank you very, very
Thank
much for
you.
us today. We really appreciate. And to the viewers, we really appreciate you for watching now and also the replay. Thank you very much. Bye for now. Bye.